Hey everybody, I'm excited to show you how you can turn your high-level installation into a business-to-business lead generation machine, and it's a service that you should be offering to your clients. Inside of your private white-labeled high-level account, you give them a sub-account and you generate leads for their business. If they are a B2B customer, if they rely on B2B clients, you are going to knock it out of the park. Let's take a look. I've done quite a few. We're going to break this video set into a couple different parts. First things first, we're going to talk about how we do our prospecting. You see I'm inside my white labeled version of High Level. I'm just going to close this, give us a little room here. What do we have? I just looked up roofers in Miami within a 30-mile radius. You've got all kinds of different things. This works for any industry, anywhere in the world. You put in your radius, and then you start going to town on the searches. So we've got all these different roofers. You see that if I scroll down, I could just keep loading more. But what can we do with them? Well, first things first, within High Level, you know that you've got some direct marketing initiatives we'll talk about in a different video. But in order to know what I can do with it, you can add in the city, state, zip if you want to do some kind of direct mail. I don't recommend that. But you can also check out their phone type. Not many people are returning that. So I can then sort by, show me everybody who's got, this one doesn't have a phone number, so it can't check it. But you see that it's got cell phone, lots of cell phones in here, landline, toll free, voice over IP. That's huge. If you already know what you can do with workflows in High Level, you know that I can text these, I can drop them a voicemail, and I can call them. Versus a landline, I can only call them. Versus voice over IP, I can call them or leave them a voicemail. So you've got options. You can set up your workflows accordingly, but you can check the phone types. Before we go reaching out to them, you might be interested in, are they on the do not call list? Well, this checks both the state and federal registry. And as it turns out, none of these roofers that we have are on the do not call list, so they are all fair game. Let's start calling them. Next, you might want to check out the domain age. I like to use this just because it tells me about how old the business is. You see that you can obviously sort up and down as needed, but you've got businesses that are in 2006, 2007, 2001, 2017. You've got you can check how old the business is. It tells you how viable of a business they might be. And then once we've done all that, you can sort and filter accordingly. So you can say, I only want to add this one, and this one to my workflows. We'll go through that in a second. So now that we've done some prospecting, let's take a look at what else we can dig up. Well, you could go and see if their GMB is claimed, yes or no. That also lends itself to the viability. You could focus on roofers that have been in business a long time and have a really good reputation, or maybe some that are struggling. You can see their ratings and reviews and check out who's rated lowest to highest, or who's got the fewest reviews, or who's got the highest reviews, obviously. So and then you can check out their GMB category. So we've got roofers and window installation versus roofing contractor, roofing supply store, skylight, waterproofing. You get the point. You can see what other services they provide may be helpful for you if you are reaching out to them for your client. Perhaps they're looking for somebody who does window installation as well as roofing. You have that capability. You can also look up any of their LinkedIn profiles that they might have, and it'll just take you directly over to it. And so if I wanted to go here and click on that, it takes me directly to their LinkedIn. We will come back to that in a second because that can be very helpful for LinkedIn and Facebook. But here's the good stuff, right? I want to start hitting somebody. So who can I hit? Well, just go into the premium email addresses and go nuts. You've got all these different people that you can go in and start hitting. So if I wanted to add in, just as an example, Brandon, he is the president of his company, I just select his name. Now, if there was somebody else down here, Joey or Annalyn, or let's see, Michael is a vice president. Let's add Michael. You get the point. You can just start adding them, and then you've got the option to drop them straight into, let's see, Chief Executive Officer. We'll add him as well. So I could just drop him directly into a workflow. That will start my direct marketing initiatives, where I can start adding them to a phone queue, so I can hit them on a power dialer. I can drop them a voicemail. I can send them a text. I can send them emails, and you can work that out. We'll cover that in a direct marketing initiatives video here shortly. And so you can just drop them straight into a campaign. It starts doing all of that for you. I'm not going to do that because this is a live system. By the way, you can also add tags, and if you add tags, you can make triggers for whatever workflows off of that as well. You can add new tags, you can add the existing tags that you got, and then you would just click create contact and add to workflow. I don't want these people to actually start getting emails from me, so I'm just going to click create contact, and it's going to drop them into my system. We'll come back to that in just a few minutes, but that's great. Everybody's wondering, all right, cool, how can you What else can we target? Can we only target roofers? Well, no, you can target literally any business. So here's accountants in Atlanta, Georgia. You can go nuts with these, right? And let's look at an example here. So if we were to try to find somebody, maybe we don't see anybody in these really long lists of contacts that we're trying to target. Maybe there's a specific company or a person at a company, or maybe a specific title at a company that we're trying to hit. I'm just going to give us a little room here. I'm going to take out the address and city columns. And maybe we're trying to find a specific person. I actually don't care about their phone number either for right now. All right. So I can go to their LinkedIn page. Once I go to their LinkedIn page, it'll show me the employees. Well, here's some employees. And once I have this list, now I can see Sam Carter, Nairi Thomas, Manish, Mehdi, and Robert, right? So if I go in here, and for instance, I don't see the person I'm looking for. Well, this name right here, that happens to line up perfectly with this right here, because that's the naming convention. So I know that that's this person, okay? And so now I could look up, I could add their position, etc. Or if I found somebody new in there, for instance, Robert Davidson, I can tell that this is first initial, last name. So if I wanted to, what I could do is I could go in and add a new contact. And I could add in Robert Davidson, who happens to be president. Okay. And R. Davidson at CarterCompanyCPA.com. Add him. You'll see that he shows up. He's already checked. We can do the exact same thing, throw them in a contact. So you can go through LinkedIn, you can go through Facebook, you can go through their social media and add new contacts or identify the names of some of the missing ones. So that it's incredibly powerful for you to be able to go find qualified leads, businesses, and then go find personal, like individual people, the decision makers that you need to get in front of. Then you can start automatically reaching out to them on behalf of your client. Keep in mind, you can obviously do this for your own business if you're selling digital marketing services, but we have a much more powerful tool for that. Specifically for digital marketing, it'll search like technical SEO audits, it'll search responsiveness, SSL stuff. It does a lot for specifically for digital marketing. But your businesses that you're calling on, your clients, you can offer them lead generation services with this, and it doesn't have to be specific to digital marketing. So we've already looked at roofers in Miami. We've looked at accountants in Atlanta. There's trucking companies in Memphis. You've got just a ton of different trucking companies. We can start reaching out to them. We've got all kinds of different people there. Trucking companies in Memphis. We've got limousine services in Vegas. You've got wealth advisors in Columbus. Stockbrokers in New York City. Chiropractors in Nashville, Tennessee. Dentists in Indianapolis, Indiana. And look at this. It's filled up with just businesses that you can call on behalf of your clients. Pediatricians in Los Angeles. So let's say you had somebody who's selling medical equipment as an example, or does something in the medical industry. Chiropractors in Nashville, Tennessee. Dentists in Indianapolis. Pediatricians in Los Angeles, right? That works out. So if you've got somebody who's insuring people that are either at high risk or high dollar values of something, that might be roofers for high risk and their equipment's extremely expensive. You might need somebody in financial services. They're calling on somebody for financial services. So there's accountants. We've already talked about how we had stockbrokers and wealth advisors. Trucking companies would go with our insurance agent who's doing high risk or high dollar, right? So accountants, limousine services, high risk, high dollar. There you go. So accountants, wealth advisors, stockbrokers, there's my financial guy. If I have a client that calls on businesses for, in the financial industry, there's plenty of examples right there. Maybe it's medical, chiropractors, dentists, pediatricians. You get the point. Now, what do? Well, I can go in here and I can add into these contacts. We've got all these people right here, and they're already tagged. These are the people that we just pulled in from our other searches, right? So now I could go in there. I could manually add them to my campaigns. I could add them in a drip style so that they don't all go in at once. Maybe I would have imported everybody on all of these lists. That's like several hundred people, and I don't want that to all go out all at one time. I can add them to a campaign. And when I do that, I can add them through a drip mode. So it doesn't go all in at one time. Maybe I do 25 a day. You get the point, though. This is the way to do prospecting on behalf of your clients if they serve a business-to-business, if they have a service model that's business-to-business. So no matter what the industry, no matter where in the world they are, it can be in the United States, in the UK, in Australia, it doesn't matter. You can find them qualified leads for their business and then find them individuals to start automatically reaching out to in both direct marketing initiatives and indirect marketing initiatives. Let's jump into some of those videos on exactly what you can do with these leads, and we'll break those out into 2 separate videos. This one just covers how we can find decision makers at qualified businesses for your clients when they call on business to business. Hope that helps, guys. Let's jump into the next video.